Greetings, everyone. Reza Sayah here. Glad to be with you in an extraordinary time in Iran, December 26th and 27th. Just a couple of remarkable days, widespread protests and clashes in the streets of Tehran. These events that we saw over the past couple of days could prove to be another turning point in the post-election turmoil in Tehran. Protesters coming out in mass once again, despite a fierce government crackdown. Again, they came out. We saw clashes throughout Saturday and Sunday. A lot of our viewers have been putting out some questions, and I'm here happy to answer them for you. Well, I think what's changed is the supporters of the opposition movement realize with the ban on international journalists in Iran, the only way to get out information, the only way to make the world aware of what's happening in the streets of Tehran and other cities throughout Iran is if they are able to document these events themselves with cameras, whether it's phone cameras, still cameras, and that's why in amateur videos that we've seen over the past couple of days, you see in these videos people walking around with cameras shooting all these events that we're seeing overseas. Now, it's interesting, when I myself was in Iran after the elections, people were afraid to use their cameras because security forces were clamping down on them as well, confiscating cameras, literally searching people. But now, based on what we've seen in the pictures and the amateur video coming in, people don't seem to be as afraid, because in the videos we're seeing people holding up their cameras. We've seen some pen cameras, because they realize the only way to get the information out is through themselves. Even though Twitter is a remarkable tool, I think it's the fastest way to broadcast information, it does have its pitfalls, and one of its pitfalls is you simply can't verify every piece of information. So I guess what I would suggest is, at the risk of not retweeting as rapidly, as quickly as you would like, wait and see some information trending. If you see that information that you're looking to retweet appearing elsewhere in large numbers, it's probably a good indication that that's coming from a credible source. It's difficult to determine what percentage of these protesters are calling for the abolishment of theocracy. And one thing that's remarkable about this opposition movement is that despite the fact that it's a variety of groups, despite the fact that it lacks structure, organization, or a true leadership, it continues apparently to gain momentum. And in speaking to some analysts, they say the reason that the hardline leaders are not able to shut this movement down is precisely because it doesn't have a structure, precisely because it doesn't have a leader, because this government, Iran's regime, for the past 30 years, its strength has been to crack down and repress dissent. And it's very good if it knows what the structure is, what the organization of the dissent is. It's very adept at going after it. So it's interesting, you see a movement here without structure, without organization, that this hardline leadership simply cannot stop. A lot of people are under the impression that support for the opposition movement is limited to Tehran, which is, generally speaking, a more progressive population at a higher socioeconomic level. In the past, again, generally speaking, the provinces, the rural areas in Iran have generally supported President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. But I think what's happening here is a general dissatisfaction with the state of the economy, the state of the country in Iran. Frankly, setting aside ideology, a lot of people simply want a better way of life in Iran. They want jobs, they want opportunities, they want lower living expenses, they want better jobs. And this regime, this current government, led by President Ahmadinejad and the supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei simply hasn't been able to deliver, and that's why you're seeing protests emerge, not just in Tehran. For example, over the weekend we saw protests in Esfahan, Mashhad, Tabriz, and Arak. So certainly indications are that it's not a localized protest. This movement is spreading throughout Iran.